Hey guys, this is Mayank, and in this video we will be talking about Adapty, which is a framework to provide in-app purchase subscription in your application. In this case today we will be specifically talking about iOS apps. You can see that Adapty provides a lot of features. It provides you the A/B testing, it provides you with subscription analytics, cohorts and whatnot. You can also find that it's an open source SDK, so if you feel like contributing to it, you can go ahead. I'll provide all these links in the description below, so you can check this out. You can find out that it takes barely an hour to integrate this SDK. In this video particularly, we will be learning how to integrate Adapty in our iOS application, how to add products to our Adapty dashboard, then to our Xcode, then how to create new paywalls and integrate them with our Xcode project, and then we will do a test purchase as well. You can explore the docs in here. If you go to this link, you would be able to see the docs page, and there you will be finding all the documentation. So we'll not be talking about the documentation in this one, but if you look at their GitHub repo, you would find that the initial integration goes like this. This is particularly for the iOS application, so you'll just have to import Adapty, then activate it in your app delegate. Then you can use their methods like make purchase. Then they have a dashboard where you can create the paywalls. Now you have other options like getting the information of the paywalls, then getting the info of the purchase and whatnot. So you can also dig deeper into this and explore it further. Here you will find that you can join their community as well. So I'll provide all these links in the description down below. You can just find them and go ahead with joining their community if you feel like. So without any further ado, let's jump into the Xcode and start integrating Adapty in iOS. So we'll create a new Xcode project, click next, write the name of the application. It will be Call in this case, nice name. Select interface as storyboard, click next and create the app. Now we'll directly go to the terminal because we want to install the pod of Adapty. So write terminal and there we go. Write the path of the project, which is cd desktop/Call. And now we will check the files. Okay, we are here. So pod init, and now we will open the pod file. So open pod file. There we go. We have our pod file here. Now just find the location where you actually need to write the pod. So we'll write it over here. Yeah, pod Adapty. And yes, we will just indent this a little and save it. And now we will close this file. Now write pod install in terminal. There you go, pod has been installed. Let's close the terminal and let's close our Xcode project as well, because now we will open a XC workspace of Call. So there we have the XC workspace. Open it and we can check our files. We have all the files with us, our pod files and all the major files. Now we'll go to app delegate and import Adapty here. So let's import Adapty. And then we will go directly to our did finish launching function and write adapti.activate, which will require us to add a string inside it that will establish a connection with our Adapty app. So we'll go to the Adapty dashboard, create a new app, and let's name it Call. The category will be medical, and let's just create this. Once we create the application, we will directly have to go to the app settings, because that's where you will find all the major information. So we'll go to the app settings, and here you can see in the iOS SDK the app has not been established, the connection with our project yet, but we'll add the bundle ID first. So just copy the bundle ID of the project and paste it over here and just save this. Now we need to establish a connection. For that we need the public SDK key as well. So in the general information you would find the API keys. Inside that you will find public SDK keys. So just copy this and paste it inside app delegate here on line number 17, and just run the application using a simulator. That will be okay. Once you run the application and the installation is done, you will find that the establishment of connection has been perfectly done. Just refresh this page and you will find that installed and working. So we are halfway through it already. Now we will create a product first, because for anything to stay behind a paywall, you need something to sell first. So we will create our very first product. To go to product file and then we will create a new product. Let's create a monthly subscription first. So let's name it monthly VIP pack. And the period will be monthly obviously, and the access level will be premium. App Store product ID would be unique, so you just need to copy this and use it everywhere where you use monthly VIP pack. Alright, let's just copy this ID, and if you want to add any promotional offer, we don't want to, let's save it. There we go. Now we will create one more for the yearly subscription. So now we will write yearly VIP pack. Okay, the period will be yearly this time, so annual, premium, and again a new and unique App Store product ID. Just make sure that you again use this wherever you are using the yearly pack. Just copy this and directly save it. Now we'll go directly to our Xcode project after this and create a new file by going to the file, new file, and we'll create a StoreKit configuration file which will allow us to create these subscriptions locally in our Xcode project. So just create this and just go to the bottom. You will find this add auto renewable subscription. Create a category over here. We will write VIP pack and then just create this. Under this you already have one entity. Now just rename this with our monthly subscription pack, which is monthly VIP. So we'll just provide the product ID here, which we just wrote over there, App Store product ID. Make sure that you have written the same ID here. Now we can give it a price as well. So we will get it $9.99 and the subscription duration will be 1 month. Now you can give it some more information like metadata, the text that will be shown when you will open this pack. Display name should be like enjoy the monthly premium. Now just give it a description, get all the best deals. Just done. Now we'll create one more subscription which will be for the yearly plan, again inside the same category VIP pack, and now we will write yearly VVIP, but not VVIP, it's VIP. Before that we will just write the product ID first because it's more important. That needs to be the same as we created on Adapty. Now we'll write yearly VIP, just select this right period for it, add the metadata for it. Okay, enjoy yearly premium, and then you write get all the best possible deals. Done. One more thing which is required, the price of the plan. I think we forgot. Okay, yeah, so we'll just correct this to $99.99 and we will just go to the edit scheme because we want to get the scheme running once we run the application. So inside this StoreKit, select the one that we have created and just close this. Now we are good with the product part. Let's now create the paywall for it. So we'll create a new paywall, and the paywall would be like standard paywall this time. So we'll create a standard paywall first, and it should be having an ID. We have standard, and then we can give it some JSON for the remote config, which will help us to directly make changes on our UI based on whatever data we provide here. So we have taken 4 fields: title, subtitle, axis, and theme. And in that you can give your information whatever you want to, and based on this information, when you try to fetch information on your Xcode application, you would be directly able to make changes on your UI, provided you have given the required or intended information over here. Just add the products inside it. We will add both the products for the monthly and the yearly plan, and we will just save this. Alright, maybe I will create one more after this. So we'll go to the create paywall again, and now we will write premium, monthly, and yearly, and now we'll again give a JSON. So same parameters: title, subtitle, axis, and theme. We can change the language if we want to, and everything else will be same except the axis and theme this time. Last time we gave it a vertical axis. This time we'll be giving it a horizontal one. So there you go, and the theme will be light this time. Just save this. We have 2 paywalls correctly saved, and we have 2 products built, and under those 2 paywalls we have both the products that we have created. Now the part is that you would find that we have created 3 more files for the convenience, and each one of those having a particular role. For paywall view controller, you would find that it basically handles the whole view that opens up when we try to purchase a plan. So it handles all the operations over there. Specifically the paywall view did tab purchase. When you purchase a plan, this function will run and you will be able to make the purchase over here. The paywall view includes the sub parts of this paywall view controller. So whatever UI you will find inside it, I'll just show you. You will find a subscription button over there. You'll find some images as well. So it's sort of a subset of the controller that we have made, majorly the view of that controller, paywall view controller. So this is how it goes. You can find this code in the description link down below. I'll just link it over there. You can find it on my GitHub repo. Other one, we have this paying options view, where you will find that whatever options we have for paying and how do we want to customize them. So everything has been done and arranged here. Now we'll go to view controller. You find the subscription button first, and we have given certain properties to it. Majorly we have hidden it in the very initial. Once we have fetched the paywalls, then only we will show this button. Other object is paywalls. So paywall model, I can show you the paywall model directly. You can see that we have these coding keys for it, and this is all the metadata which is required for this. Now we'll directly jump on the view did load. Inside that you will find two functions that we are calling, setup button and get paywall. Setup button is simply setting up the button that we have just defined, subscription button, and setting some constraints for it and adding a target to it. So the target is did tap button, and in did tap button we are doing everything that has to be done when you click on the subscription button. So everything, including the metadata, the remote config data that we gave. You would find that the paywall data is fetched here first. You update the object for the paywalls using this API which Adapty provides us, and then only you will update this object of paywalls. After that you can show the subscription button on your very first view. Other than that you will not be showing that. Let's go back to where we were discussing this. Yes, there we were. So you would find that paywalls.last is there, where you would find we have created two paywalls. For first you will find the first that we have created. For the last you will find the other one that we have created, and I'll show you both in the example now after running this code. But first let's discuss this remote config data as well, because we will be using this to change or to make certain changes on our UI for the axis and theme majorly, and we will pass this data to our view model of paywall view, and it will directly handle this, and then it will present this paywall view controller once we click on our buy the subscription button. So let's run this application and see what happens. You'll find the buy subscription button here. If you click on this, you will find the lighter version of the paywall, where you find it arranged in a horizontal manner. The products are arranged in a horizontal manner, and now we will run the other one by just changing the paywall dot first, and we will run it again, and you would find the darker version of the paywall this time. So there you go. You can see that you have both the same product, but this time vertically aligned. If you try to purchase one of these products, let's see what happens. So if you select this and click on subscribe, so there's a testing purchase that is happening now, and you can read the text over here. Let's subscribe this, and it has been successfully done. You can read the message, click on OK. There you go, you have purchased the plan, and this is the testing purchase using Adapty paywall. Now there's one more thing which we need to look into, because we had two paywalls that we made. One was a premium one and the other one was a standard one. We named both of them in a certain way, and these two things that I just mentioned are their unique IDs. So we need to see those unique IDs, and it has a parameter. These paywalls has a parameter called developer ID inside it, which we're gonna print now for the last and the first one, so that we get rid of the first and last, meaning we can actually use those IDs that we have created, and based on that we fetch the view that we want to show. So you can find here that we have run the application. Again, you will find the buy subscription button here, and when we will tap on the button, you would find both the options that we want to choose. We click on the button and you find the premium and standard options there, which are the developer ID for the last and the first paywall. So now let's create a method using which we can just directly pass on the developer ID, and that developer ID will help us to fetch the views that we want to use, be it the standard one or the premium one. So we're creating a private method here called paywalls with a developer ID that we will pass on based on our convenience. So this will be a string, and in return it will be giving us a paywall model, which is an optional, and we are already managing the handling on line number 67, so we are also good with that part as well. We'll return the paywall which has the developer ID of the name that we will provide it. So now we will write the first where method for our paywalls, and you will find that we are okay. There's some issue, there's no closure, so we will make the closure open, and then we will write dot developer ID equals to the name, the dev ID that we will pass into it. So based on this, it will return us the exact paywall that we really want. So now we will use this method inside our method called did tap button. We'll just replace paywalls.first with the method that we have just created, and we will pass on, say for first example we'll use premium. So and when we run this, you will find the premium model opening up when we click on the buy a subscription button. You can find it here. Now let's try the standard one as well. If we replace premium with standard, there you go, run the application, and you would find that now we have the dark mode one appearing on the screen. So yes, there it is. Now that we are good with the testing part with Adapty SDK, now we'll get into some live things which we will do when we will go towards the production part of the things. So for that, we need to connect Adapty SDK also with our App Store Connect application, which is uploaded. So we have done, we have just prepared it for the submission. We haven't submitted it for the sale yet. So this part we have done to just show you around how you can connect your App Store Connect with Adapty so that it works smoothly with it, and we'll just go ahead and do that. So first thing that we will do, making the subscriptions. So to do that, we have this shared secret as well, which we will create now, and we will create this key and we'll copy this from here and we'll paste it on our Adapty dashboard because we need to connect our app secret to our application instance that we have made on Adapty. So here we paste it, then we will save it, and we are good. Now the next thing that we will do is to create subscription models, same like we have done in our Xcode, and it has to be similar, or not just similar, it has to be same as we have made it in our Xcode as well as on our Adapty dashboard. So the product ID is the main part which needs to be the same. So we'll copy the product ID from here, we'll go to subscriptions, we'll create a new one, and then click on reference name, we'll name it VIP pack, just like our Xcode subscription model that we made. After that, we can create certain models in it. The first one would be for obviously the monthly pack that we have to create, and for that we have already copied the ID which we'll paste here and we'll create it. For the metadata, we can add on some details like some localization, some duration stuff, everything like that. And in this example, we are going to first of all create the yearly subscription pack as well. After that, we will create or add the metadata. So we'll create the yearly pack now, and for that we need to copy paste the product ID for the yearly packs. We'll go back to our Adapty dashboard, use the yearly pack ID, and then we will just paste it at the required location. So we'll go here, we'll do that, and we are good again. Just create it. Now we can also add some metadata to both of our subscription models under the VIP pack. So for yearly, we can add 1 year, and there we go. You can add some screenshots, you can add certain other permissions, localization, whatnot, do the same. So you can do it at your own convenience. For the same, we will do for the monthly pack as well. So we'll go to the monthly pack, we'll add the duration in this. So we'll go to subscription duration, we'll make it 1 month, which is monthly obviously, and we save it. Now that we are good with adding the secret key and the subscriptions, the next step that we will do in this particular scenario is to also add the server notification key, which we will find here on our app information dashboard, and we'll have this production key as well as the sandbox key. So we'll go to the SDK on our Adapty dashboard, we'll copy the key which is available here, which is right here. We have just copied it and we'll paste it both in the production environment as well as for our sandbox environment URL. Please make sure that you use the version 1 notification. For version 2 you can have a variety of other notification as well, like when does the subscription end and whatnot, but in this scenario we will only use the version 1 notification. So please go ahead with that. Just paste it on the sandbox and the production environment and we are good with that as well. The next step would be to get into the coding side of things, where we will go to the app delegate. We'll add the delegate of our Adapty SDK so that we can use certain methods of it. After that we'll add the protocol for it, like Adapty delegate protocol, and after this we will use two methods of this protocol, namely the first one is did receive promo, which will not use really, I just showed it, and the other one would be regarding the purchase. So when we receive the purchase we need to use that method. So the method name is I'm just going to write that did receive update purchase info, and this will tell us what will be the purchase info for any purchase that we will make. So we can print the information that we will receive here. So for that we have stringify it, and now we will try to run the app and we'll show you how it works. So we'll go and run the application once. There we go. And you find that when you run the application you have the buy subscription, and the main information is here on the console. Non-subscription, access level, subscription, everything will be printed over here, but we will use the same sort of methods inside our view controller, so we don't really need it right now. Let's get into the view controller, where we need to first fix our buy purchase button, because it always pops up whenever we haven't made a purchase. So we don't want to hard code it based on the paywalls that we fetch. We want that to happen, this action to happen when we have made a purchase, then it should not show up. If we haven't made any purchase, then this button should show up. So we are going to make it dependent on our purchase state. So for that we will be using this method of Adapty SDK called adapti.getPurchaseInfo, and we can force update things using this method, and we will receive two parameters out of it, info and error. If our info, which we will first unwrap it using art.lat, and we will also see if the error is nil or not. After that we will use this data to perform the actions for our buy button. If we already have subscribed to the SDK, if we have already subscribed to the model which we have proposed monthly or yearly, then we will not show up our button. Otherwise you can find that inside info we have certain keys which we'll use to create this dependency. Info dot have the access levels, and the access level can be a premium level, because we have stated premium, both of them are premium. So you'll write premium. If premium is active and it's true, then the purchase is true, obviously, and based on this condition we will make sure that should we show the subscription button on the screen or not. If you write if is purchased is false, then we will just show it up on our screen. So for that we will just go to the main thread and we'll do this async task right away, so that we have done everything securely on our application and the changes show up on the accurate time. So now we'll write self dot subscription button. Self is optional here because we will make it a weak self, so we have already write it question mark. We'll add it in few seconds. Yeah, is hidden is equals to false if is purchased is false. Makes sense. Now we will add the weak self as well, since we have made the self an optional one. So this is to make sure that there is no such memory leak as such because of this instance. Now we are good. We'll run the application once to see if everything is working fine or not, and since we haven't made any purchase yet, you would find that the button will show up for now. And there you go, we have run the application and you see the buy subscription button because we haven't made any purchase yet. So that's great. We have already seen how we can integrate Adapty with our testing environment. Now we have also integrated with our App Store Connect, and you are ready to go to get into the live environment part after this. Just explore more. Adapty has analytics feature as well, and it has really done a very detailed work as far as their features are concerned. So go explore these out. The documentation is already available. I'll provide the link in the description as well. You can find that it's a neat documentation. You'll find everything in a category wise mentioned over here. For the iOS category, like since we are already interested into iOS, we are already talking about it here. You can find that how to handle the errors if you get any, and for the SDK integration part, installation part, you can find how we need to do it through the documentation as well. You can go ahead further and do other things as well. You can find out on their website what all features they have. Particularly the A/B testing part is quite interesting when you have to decide which subscription model should you go along with. You can just test them out by A/B testing. So that's a perfect and interesting approach, and Adapty really makes it very simple. This is all for the video. See you in the next one. Till then, take care. Bye bye and Jai Hind.